My name's Ian. I'm a dad. I'm an engineer. I've done some business. And I was really despondent over the lack of big, big ideas, big change to deal with climate change until I started to learn about this molecule here. It's nitrogen and hydrogen. It's ammonia. Nitrogen's easy to get. The air is 78% nitrogen. And hydrogen, green hydrogen, you can get from water and green electricity. So it's simple. And learning about what people are doing with this has really, made me quite positive about the outlook. Um, I mentioned I've done some business. I do a lot of continuous improvement um, work with clients. So that's kind of some of the core messaging is let's get better today where we can. Because perfect someday, uh, it's not a good plan, right? Like let's take action every single day. I was just at a client where it was continuous process, and if there was a little tiny mistake, it cost them $3,300 a minute. Perfect someday you'll go broke, right? If you can fix something in a minute, it has value right now, right? And and like let me give you a little example. School bus tires, right? They're not perfect. They can blow, right? The tire blows and you might kill a bunch of kids. That's definitely not perfect. Better today means you check the tire pressure. You check for wear. You make sure that there's good tread, no damage. Is it perfect? No. But is it better? Is it better than doing nothing? Absolutely. So you don't wait until they invent a perfect tire. You do what you can today. Sometimes it's useful to get a big group of people together and talk about various options. And you break it down this way. You just no math, right? You just use people's guts and say, is this easy and is it valuable, right? A perfect tire, sure, it's valuable if it's affordable. Nobody knows what it will cost. And is it easy? No, right? So, but checking tire pressure, that is easy, right? So you do that. You always do that. Why wouldn't you do the easy thing that adds a bunch of value? You do that, right? So I came across this article. Um, Hanwha Power Systems and Gas Log have a bunch of liquid natural gas carriers. And these things have turbines in them. And natural gas turbines are pretty easy to convert so that they can also run on green ammonia. So dual fuel. You change some pieces in the burners. So you don't reinvent the ship. You don't do much, but it gives you this option of using 100% green fuel. This is the kind of thing that is easy and high impact. Is it perfect? Maybe the green fuel is going to cost a bit more. If it spills, it's stinky. But so it's not perfect. But we're not going to wait for fusion powered ships. Right? We can do this today. Ammonia combustion, it's this simple. You take ammonia, it combusts, it creates nitrogen. The air 78% nitrogen and water. It's not a problem. Is it safe? Right? Do these ship builders need to go do a bunch of engineering, risky, Is it going to take them 5 years to figure out if they can do this? No, no. So ships are registered with uh, under classes, uh, and that's so these class notations. What they do is they have rules about how these ships should be set up, fire suppression, lifeboats, things like that. They inspect them, they keep track of them, and when they say something is safe, they're taking on some legal liability, right? If people die because something was set up the way that these societies, engineers said they should be set up, you know, people can get sued. So, so the biggest, I mean, this represents 70% of shipping or something. Some of the biggest organizations in shipping in the world have um, either approved designs for ammonia fueled ships, they're under construction or they're operational. So a bunch of this stuff is done. All right. It's green, it's safe. Okay. So like we're just kind of evaluating when replacing a fuel with a green fuel might not be perfect, but on the is it super hard or is it relatively easy? On that scale, it's relatively easy. If you want to run a tractor on green ammonia, your fuel system is going to be a little bit different, maybe $1,000 in parts, and uh, it doesn't have the same energy in a liter as diesel does. So you're going to need bigger tanks. Okay. But I mean, compared with hydrogen fuel cells or something, that's pretty easy. Pretty easy. And and perfect is the enemy. Perfect will never happen. We're looking for easy and high value. Similarly, to make green ammonia, you need green power, electrolyzers, and then to take the hydrogen the electrolyzers create and to make ammonia. It's three steps. Um, there are farms that have solar panels that do this. You can buy the um, electrolyzers and ammonia system in a shipping container. So you're not looking at a complex web of companies. If you think about oil and gas, you have exploration companies. You have to build the well. You have to so offsea rigs. Who imagine how many people are involved in that. Then you have to refine the oil. Compared to that, a turbine and a couple pieces of equipment is it's nothing. It's so simple. So simple. And you know, we tend to look at companies as monoliths, but in that company, it's got to be simple for everybody. Your CEO, they're looking at this quarter, you know, what's the average tenure of a CEO? Maybe 4 years. If you want to build a nuclear power plant, that's five CEOs, six CEOs. That's hard. That's hard for them. Your bankers, credit risk. So, this project, how do we finance it? If everything goes sideways, does this thing have a resale value? A turbine? Sure, I guess. The electrolyzers, the ammonia stuff. Yeah, or on the other end, the ship that can also run on other fuels. Yes, of course it has resale value. All right, this has changed the value of the ship a couple bucks. Like it's not hard for them. Your accountants, this is not hard for them. They buy fuel every day. So if the fuel has a slightly different price, or like one of the things green ammonia kind of allows you to do, you can buy forward contracts and lock in a price for 10 years. That actually makes things simpler for your finance people, not more complicated, right? It's not this complex hedging system. You just, you know, the price. Your engineers, your maintenance people, your equipment, your operators, swapping out the burner on a turbine, the ship still runs the same way, right? This is easy for them. This is nothing for them. This is so to get this project from like inception to done, you can buy the parts, you can finance it, doesn't change your revenue. Like it's value and ease. That's the lens that gets things done. I'll just, I'm not anti any of these, to be clear, but, and I'm going to commingle my metaphor, I apologize. The value of um, using corn to make alcohol or fuel cells or EVs, the value of it, interestingly, is not easy. We don't really know how much greenhouse gas is created through making all this fuel from corn. I've heard numbers that it's better. I've heard numbers that it's worse. Don't really know who to trust. I know it's not perfect, but how do you evaluate it? And that slows down decision making. Slows down decision making. Fuel cells. What's their lifespan? How reliable are they? Will there be any supply? What will the price of the supply be? All those questions create delays. EVs. How long will they actually last? What's the carbon that actually goes in the battery? How green will the grids be 5 years from now versus today? Those questions, people can sit on them and not make a decision, right? Not move forward for years. In trying to evaluate perfect or in a sufficiently complicated solution, it creates just delays, which means nothing happens. This ship, right? Swapping out a turbine so you can use 100% green fuel. It's easy to budget, right? It's easy to know the impact. It's 100% green. You know the price of the green fuel, right? So better today versus someday being perfect. One of the things I'm really excited about green ammonia, it's a turbine splitting water to make green fuel. It's, we know exactly how it works. It's not complicated. It's on the market. Yeah, we have to change our engines, but we know how to run engines. It's wildly better today. And it's here today versus perfect someday. Let's go. Let's adopt it. Like green fuel today. Let's go. That's my performance improvement consulting lens, and I hope this is interesting. If you have any questions, let me know.